everyone, Dr. Cortez. And today's for lesson in monetary policy and central banking. We are now in lesson number 2 for this asynchronous lesson, and I'm going to discuss and I'm going to have a quiz about the lesson today and the lesson last week. So those who are not yet oriented, this is my full name. I'm Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Business Administration, and for the references that I'm going to use for this topic, primarily I refer to the website of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas for the discussion, and I would like to credit Google for the GIF and photos used in the presentation. And we're going to start the discussion, but before I go to this topic, I would like to lay down the agenda. So today we're going to talk about the importance of central banking, history of central banking, timeline and the history, structure and governance, the rules of monetary board of the BSP, the core functions of the BSP, and the regulations and supervisions being done by the BSP. And for the learning outcomes or objectives, by the end of the lesson, I have here 4 learning outcomes. By the end of the lesson, you guys should be able to do the following. First, you should be able to explain the purpose, history, ano ba yung gamit ng central banking sa inyo as finance student, as business students. Should be able to identify and describe yung mga functions ng central bank. Example, you are in a banking industry and you are the manager of one company, one bank. You should know yung functions ng BSP doon sa inyong mga bangko. And you should be able to evaluate the relationship between central banks, financial markets, the government, and the banks, and assess the role of central banks in crisis management. So natin mga purpose or objectives or outcomes that we are aiming to have for you guys. And actually, this is the first topic kanina ay nagkamali ako ng ilagay. This is the first slide. Central banking, defining central banking, the role of central bank in the economy, and ayan na. Gamit yung sa mga sa mga financial management students, out there, mga accountancy. Ito yung gamit ng central banking. Maybe you are wondering, ano bang gamit ng central bank sa atin? Sa mga financial management students, central banking is crucial for managing a country's monetary policy, ensuring economic stability, like stabilizing inflation, regulating financial institution, bangko, lending institutions, issuance of currency. Kasi you are businessman, the medium of exchange is Philippine peso, di ba? Currency. So, isa yun sa mga functions ng CB, ng BSP. Issuance of currency, overseeing monetary system. Yan ang gamit sa atin ng central banking. And I'm going to move to the next slide. So ito yung importance ng central banking sa atin. Key functions and impact. Firstly, the monetary policy. Sila nagbibigay ng mga policy. Affected yung mga bangko, affected yung mga companies. So central banks manage economic stability through monetary policy. So, ano bang connection ng central bank sa economic stability? Kasi you're in business, nakita mong yung inflation ay malala. The economic growth is very slow. Diyan papasok yung central banking. Example, stabilizing the inflation. Kasi inflation, di ba, mayroon siyang effect sa atin. Inflation ay masyadong malaki, like 5%, 6%. Sabihin yan, affected ng isang negosyante. Kasi pag sinabi inflation, yun yung pagtaas ng mga bilihin, pagbaba ng value ng pera. So affected ka kasi you have buyers, no? So, pagbababang value ng pera, so baka walang bibili sa inyo. So, regulating inflation, interest rates sa mga bangko, di ba? Mga borrowing rates sa bangko. Pag ikaw yung negosyante and you have lack of funds, kailangan mo ng fund or pondo, capital para sa yung business, will go to the bank. And the bank will charge you interest. Eh, paano pag yung bangko ay walang mag-charge ng napakataas na interest? Diba? So, baka mahirapan kang magbayad. So, yung function ng BSP is to regulate the interest rates being charged by the banks. Yan. So, another one, adjusting the money supply. Diba sabi natin, pag masyadong maraming pera sa circulation, yung value ng pera bumababa. Kasi masyadong maraming pera eh. Din to avoid the oversupply ng pera sa circulation that is being regulated by the central bank. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede masyadong mag-issue ng napakaraming currency ang isang central bank. Kasi mas lalong bababa yung value ng pera. And also financial stability. And so the main goal, one of the main goals of central bank is to keep inflation low. Nababanggit ko to minsan sa mga subjects ko. Ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas ngayon is nasa 4 to 5%, I guess na. Ibig sabihin, mga 4% is okay na inflation rate. Pag yan kasi tumaas ng 6%, 7%, 8%, masyadong mataas na yan. And basically, pag sinabi natin inflation rate, yun yung pagbaba ng value ng perang hawak-hawak mo ngayon. Sabihin, kung mababa ng 4%, ng 5%, ang value ng pera mo. So you can imagine, pag an inflation rate is 8%, yan yung decline or decrease ng value ng iyong pera. Kaya nga, the BSP is regulating, keeping the inflation rate low. That is the main functions of BSP. Pag wala sila, so what will happen to the inflation rate? Masyadong mataas. Okay, functions of central bank: financial stability, overseeing the banking system. So, negosyante kayo, you go to the bank, and the banks are being regulated by the central bank. Anong reason? Pag nalaman natin the banks that you are depositing your money into are being regulated by the central bank or the BSP, you are confident, di ba, na yung banko ay okay. Kasi regulated ng BSP. Kasi pag walang central monitoring system, walang central regulating system ng bangko, tulad ng central bank or BSP, so you don't have confidence or trust doon sa mga bangkong pinaglalagay mo ng pera, because they prevent a systemic risk and ensure the overall health for the financial sector, safeguarding your deposits, safeguarding the economy. I mentioned earlier na one of the functions of BSP is the issuance of currency. Diba minsan at a certain time may bago tayong paper, may bago tayong peso bills na ginagamit, mga bagong coins na ginagamit. So silang responsible for issuing legal tender and ensuring its integrity. Last time, pinag-usapan natin, di ba, mga different types of money, mga unang panahon na ginagamit ng money sa Pilipinas. Those are the legal tender. Ngayon, siyempre, we are using coins and paper bills. Hindi pwede mag-issue na paraming pera ang central bank. They manage the supply of money. Pag nag-issue ng pera, siyempre, we need cash, we need money for doing facilitating transactions. Diba? Kaya, nandiyan sila. Pag may central bank, we are confident, we trust. We trust the currency. Kasi galing sa BSP, diba? Pag walang BSP kasi, magtatanong ka, saan nanggaling yung pera? Sino nag-issue? Baka pega yan. Pero pag alam mong the BSP issued a new paper, a new peso bill, new coins, you are confident na galing sa kanila. Okay, so I'm moving let's go to the history of Bangko Sentral. Baka nalilito kayo, no? Dati, ang tawag natin dyan ay Central Bank. Ngayon kasi, we call that as Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas ay BSP, no? BSP na yung tawag natin sa Central Bank, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Okay, so we're going to the history of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kasi dito, I have here some years, no? 1993, 1949. Yun ang pinaka-common sa history ng Central Bank, but we're going to mention here the chronological events in the history of Central Bank. Natin, hindi ka masyadong mag-umpisa dun sa pinakamatagal. I will start with 1948. 1948 kasi presidente si Manuel Rojas, no? So submitted sa Congress ng bill. Sabi niya, it's now time to establish a central bank for the Philippines, no? President Manuel Rojas, no? In 1949, he proposed the creation of the central bank. He proposed that to the Congress, the Philippine Congress. Then it was also in 1948 that the bill creating the central bank was signed into law by President Elpidio Quirino. So si Quirino yung nag-sign ng law creating the Central Bank of the Philippines. But it was in 1949 pa, kaya meron ako dito ng year 1949. January 3, 1949, that was the year, and then that was the year wherein the Central Bank was created, inaugurated, and formally opened. Yan. 1949. No? So, katatapos sila ng gera, di ba? Siguro mga parents niyo, wala pa niyan. Panahon lang wala pa sila niyan. Then, from 1949, let's go to 1993. Kasi in 1993, ito ito yung taon na pinalitan yung pangalan. July 3, 1993. Ito yung taon na pinalitan yung pangalan ng Central Bank was changed into Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So there was also a law creating the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas na pinalitan yung CBP or Central Bank of the Philippines, the country's central monetary unit na. Ang Bangko Sentral, the BSP is yan ang Central Monetary Authority ng Pilipinas, no? The BSP. And that was in 1993. 1993, kag-graduate lang ng college na. Was created. No? So, magtatanong ko, nasaan ang Bangko Sentral, no? Meron sa East Avenue, meron din sa may Harrison, meron sa may Rojas Boulevard. Yun ang mga main office ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, and they are heavily guarded. Pag napunta ka ng pag you're coming from Quezon City Hall going to East Avenue, halos katapat siya ng East Avenue Hospital. So you're right in. So that is the history of the Bangko Sentral, a very quick one. History ng BSP. Okay, so ano ba yung mga mandate niya? So ayan, no, sinabanggit natin dito. So yung siyang the main monetary authority sa ng Pilipinas. Okay, so I'm moving my slide. Timeline. So ito yung timeline na binanggit ko kanina. In 1949, the Central Bank was created, and in 1993, pinalitan siya. And in 2020, the BSP embraced the digital banking to enhance financial inclusion and access. So financial inclusion lahat. Kasi dati, no, sa Pilipinas, if you will survey, hindi lahat ng tao may bank account. Hindi lahat ng adults ay may bank accounts. Ang reason, siyempre, di ba? Pupunta ka ng bangko, mahaba yung pila, then you'll be filling out lots of documents, and they will be getting from you lots of requirements. Yan ay pag mag-open ka ng bank account. So, matagal, no? Matagal siya. Kaya hindi lahat ay may bank deposit sa Pilipinas. But if you have bank deposit, useful no? Marami kang gamit pag meron kang bank accounts. Then to remedy itong sabi ng BSP, dapat lahat ay masama na meron silang mga bangko that they know how to bank. Banking. So mas madali kasi sa atin pag digital. Example, meron kang GCash, di ba? Tapos magbabangko ka, sa GCash mo meron dong online banking, di ba? You can transfer funds to bank accounts, to digital banking. Yan. So you can deposit. Tulad sa inyong mga you're using this one, di ba? Pag mayroon kang GCash at sa GCash mo mayroon dyan mga digital banking, pwede kang mamili, no? Ang ginagamit ko sa sa aking digital banking ay yung isang that's the CMB. Yan ako dito, ang ginagamit kong pag magde-deposit ka, yan, di ba? Yan, no? Meron kang dyan. We want to save. Meron kang digital banking dyan. I'm using CNB. CNB ba yun? Kasi meron akong estudyante sa working sa CNB, sa digital bank. Hindi makita. Kaya yun ang ginagamit. Okay, so it was inaugurated na merong banking, kaya merong mga bangko wala silang physical establishment. Digital, meron sila online. Ito yung in-introduce in 2020 ng BSP. Digital banking. Yan. Para lahat ay maisali at lahat ay merong access sa financial products. So ito yung dalawang photo ng ito yung nasa Bangko Sentral na nasa East Avenue. Ito naman yung Bangko Sentral sa May Rojas Boulevard. But I know the one in Rojas Boulevard is the main office ng BSP. Structure ng Bangko Sentral. Yan ang organizational structure. Hindi ito. Organization and governance. Pangalan dito. Okay, so ito yung org structure ng Bangko Sentral. The monetary board is higher than the governor. Ang pinaka-head ng BSP yung governor. But before, above him, parang sa private companies din. Yung may-ari ang hindi nagde-decide para sa company. Sa private companies, meron tayong tinatawag na board of directors. O ganoon din dito sa central bank. Ahead of the governor is the monetary board. So, pag sinabi monetary board, that is a group of people. Hindi na sa isang tao. But ang monetary board is being chaired ng governor. Yan. Merong the board is a group, di ba? Then ang pinaka-leader nila, yung governor. Ibig sabihin yan, hindi lang yung governor nagde-decide para sa BSP, kundi yung buong board. So the monetary board that is chaired by the BSP governor. May pakita ko sino yung governor ng BSP. So mayroon siyang 5 private sectors nakalagay dito, no? The monetary and economic sector, financial, corporate, payments and currency, regional operations. So hindi department na tawag natin kasi sobrang laki ng BSP, no? Hindi pwedeng department or division na tawag natin dyan. Kundi isang buong sector talaga. So the function of the governor, he serves as the BSP's chief. So ang CEO ng BSP ay yung governor. He serves as the chief executive officer, nagmamanage sa operations and administrations ng BSP. Let me see if I have here kung sino yung governor. Nakita ko na dito governor ng Bangko Sentral. Saan na siya? Okay. Anyway. Governance, principles, independence, governance of the bank. So I mentioned earlier, no? The monetary board, chaired by the BSP, governor. Gumago ng monetary policy for the country, financial system, market, capital. So kasama din 5 sectors kanina, no? Siyang CEO. Okay, the BSP is independent. Ibig sabihin mo lang siyang pressure from the legislative, pressure, walang pressure from the executive, walang pressure from the judiciary. Independent ang BSP. Kasi nga, pag hindi siya independent at naka-pressured siya ng president, di pwedeng magpaprint ng maraming pera. No? Example, some politician will influence or pressure ang BSP. Sabi niya, mag-print ka ng maraming pera. So, dapat independent yung BSP. Wala pressure. Okay. So, balance. So, roles of the Monetary Board, the key responsibilities in central banking governance, policy setting, monetary policy, sabi ko kanina, example, pag-set ng interest rate, example, yung borrowing rate, pag mangutang sa bangko, pag walang regulation ng BSP, but the bank can charge you a very high interest, like 30%. Ngayon, 20% lang, di ba? If you will borrow from the bank. May certain limit yung interest na i-charge ng bangko sa'yo. And meron ding certain limit yung interest income na pwede mong ma-earn sa bangko. Kasi ang interest sa bangko dalawa no? Yung interest income na pwede mo earn ng yung deposit, tapos yung interest expense na you will incur if you will borrow from the bank. Siyempre, mas maliit yung interest rate income. Yung interest rate mas maliit. Example, kung sinabi natin the interest income rate is 1%. Ibig sabihin yan, 1% lang yung kita ng iyong deposit. Pero pag sinabi ng bangko na interest expense is 20%, ibig sabihin, pag nangutang ka sa bangko, 20% yung interest na pabayaran mo. In addition to your principal. Then regulation, the board is responsible for overseeing financial institutions, mga bangko. Hindi lang bangko, dapat financial institution, lending companies, mga kasama rin dito yung mga pawn shop, mga insurance companies, no? Kasama rin dito. So yung in-oversee or monitor ng Monetary Board. Developing regulations that promote transparency, safety, and soundness. Examples, pag sinabi nating safety, o mga bangko, pag sinabi ng central bank na lahat ng bangko should be a member of the PDIC. PDIC is the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation. Ibig sabihin, mga bangko are required to ensure mga deposits ng mga depositors. Sabihin, pag yung bangko ay example, meron kang deposit sa bangko, 500,000. Tapos nasunog yung bangko. Insured yung pera mo doon. Because the banks are required to register or to have the deposits insured sa PDIC. Ayun mga one of the regulation being done for the safety ng mga deposits. Let me see kung magkano ngayon. Dati kasi 500,000 yung 500,000 yung ang covered ng iyong deposit. Ibig sabihin, pag may deposit ka sa bangko at yung bangko na sunog, na hold up, nanakawan, covered yung deposit mo hanggang 500,000. Let me check kung magkano nga. Alam ko, hindi na 500,000 ngayon. Magkano ba? Ito, Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation. Ang deposits natin, alam ko 1 million na no? Let me check. How much is the coverage sa PDIC? Ito. And alright, insured ang pera mo hanggang 1 million pesos. Deposit mo insured hanggang 1 million pesos. Sabihin, pag may deposit ng 500,000 doon o 600,000, nasunog yung bangko, nahulog yung bangko, ninakawan, insured 1 million. Okay, so let's move core functions of the BSP, monetary policy, sabi ko rin, di ba? Controlling the inflation. So they are making some sound decision paano papababa ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas. Kasi currently, the inflation rate of the Philippines, sabi ko, di ba, dapat hindi masyadong mataas ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas. Kasi pag mataas ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas, that is not good for your business. So dapat ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas, ideally, ay hindi tataas, hindi lalampas ng 4%. The latest inflation rate of the Philippines for October 2025 is 1.7%. That is very low, no? 1.7%. Ang inflation ng Pilipinas for October 2025. Wala pang November, siyempre. At what is the meaning, what is meant by 1.7? Yun yung pagbaba ng value ng pera mo. Bumaba siya ng 1.7%. September to October, bumaba ng 1.7% yung value ng pera. Kasi tumataas, di ba? Tumataas ang bilihin. Yan, ano yung binabantayan, no? Binabantayan ng BSP. And in addition sa currency issuance, bank supervision, sila yung lahat ng bangko. So may sinusunod na regulations ang mga bangko sa Pilipinas. That is the charters of the BSP. So anong reason why dapat ang mga bangko ay being supervised by the BSP? For the client or customer protection. Sabi ko kanina, pag nagtaas na napakataas na interest at nangutang ka sa tapos sabi nila, ang interest namin 50%. So, ibig sabihin niya, pag nangutang ka ng 10,000, ang interest nun 5,000. Napakalaki, di ba? So, yan ang binabantay ng central bank. Okay, so let's move some more core functions of BSP. Foreign reserves. Foreign reserves help stabilize the economy during financial fluctuations. Ito yung dollars, no? Kasi isang country like the Philippines should have dollar deposits or dollar reserve. Ang pinakamarami, US dollars ng ating reserve. So bakit dapat marami tayong reserve? Kasi yan ang mini-measure yung growth, capacity, yung wealth ng isang country. Sabihin, mas maraming dollar deposits or reserve ang isang country, mas powerful, mas maganda for the economy. Kasi ang ginagamit natin, siyempre, in transacting with other countries are dollars. Nasa pag wala tayong dollars, ano gagamitin natin? So that is being done by the Bangko Sentral. Sa yung taga-ipon, taga-tago ang mga dollar reserves. Ang reason, hindi kasi maganda or hindi stable ang isang country na mababa ang kanyang dollar reserves. To stabilize the economy, dapat marami tayong foreign reserves. Pag sa foreign reserves, so lahat ng currency, Japanese yen, Korean won, di ba? US dollars, euro, British pound, yan, no? Pag pinagsama-sama natin yan, foreign reserve, tawag natin yan. Okay, and another function of the BSP, lender of last resort, provides emergency funds to banks in distress. Isang bangkong lugi na, ang taga-rescue ay yung central bank. Example, di ba? Example, BPI, Land Bank. Pag nabusan ng fund, ang takbo sa BSP, sila yung magpapautang doon sa kanila. Hindi bibigyan pera. Doon sila pwedeng mangutang. Doon sila pwedeng mag-loan. Doon muna, bago lumabas ang country. And another one, financial stability ensures a secure environment for economic growth and investor confidence. So, pag ako yung investor, foreign investor ka, going to the country, at nakita mong walang central bank, pangit. May mga countries na walang central bank, pero I know majority of the countries globally central bank. And who stabilize the economy? Siyempre, pag isang investor ay nakita hindi stable ang isang economy, hindi siya mag-invest. Pag nakita ng isang investor na ang inflation rate ay napakataas, like 7%, 10%, if the inflation rate is very high, that is not a good sign ng economy. Pangit ang economy pag mataas inflation. Pero pag na-establish ng BSP yan, so more foreign investors go coming in to the country. Regulations and supervisions, responsibilities, ayan ang di natin nabanggit dito, we already discussed monetary policy, we already discussed financial supervision. How about this one? Payment system. Yung Bangko Sentral ang tagabayad, taga-settle ng payment. Example mga loans ng country, IMF, loans from IMF, loans from World Bank, BSP ang authority natin dyan. Central Monetary Authority ng BSP kasi. Okay, so another one dito, sa consumer protection, it ensures that the customers, the client of banks have access to financial services. Maganda, no? Dati kasi, kunti lang ang service being offered by the banks eh. Dati kasi, pag sa bangko, ano lang ang pwede mong gawin? Deposit or withdrawal. Ngayon kasi, mga nagbabangko dito, no? You will notice marami ng functions authorized by the BSP. Marami ng mga functions sa mga bangko. You can transfer money, you can invest, pwedeng pera mo doon, pwedeng investment mo na rin. Kasi meron mutual fund and time deposit sa mga bangko, di ba? You can pay bills, you can apply for financing sa bangko, di ba? Example, you're going to buy a property, sasakyan or bahay, wala kang pera, you can go to the bank for financing. Pare, yung bangko magpifinance ng inutang mong bahay, inutang mong pera. Ayan. That is convenient pag wala kang access to capital. So, banks can provide. With the authority, siyempre ng BSP. Okay, moving on. Kanina, 20 pesos ngayon, 50 pesos na. Malaki. Current issues and challenges that being experienced by the BSP in the modern economy. Sa current issues facing the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, ayan, isa sa mga challenging for the BSP is the monitoring, controlling inflation. Kasi napaka-crucial ang inflation rate, no? If I can recall, no? Di ba sabi ko kanina, 1.7%. Kanina, sa month of October, 1.7% ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas. Check natin, no? Check natin. Maybe you are interested, maybe you are curious. Ilan ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas during the pandemic? Check natin, no? Compare natin. Currently kasi 1.7% ang inflation rate ng Pilipinas. Nung pandemic, ilan? Natin, ha? Inflation rate natin. Ayun, no? Nung pandemic, ang inflation rate ay 4.5% in 2021. Kasi ang target kasi sabi ko din, di ba? Ang target na ideal inflation rate is hindi dapat nalampas ng 4%. Kasi pag lumampas ka dyan, that is not good for the economy. Pero ng pandemic, 2021, the average inflation rate was 4.5%. So, lampas, di ba? Yan, that is kind of very challenging. So, why challenging? Kasi, inflation rate is risky because of some reason. Example, potential electricity rate, tariff adjustment, pag-depreciate ng peso. Yan din binabantay ng BSP, di ba? Yung pag-depreciate ng peso, di ba? Alam natin as finance student, pag yung peso versus the dollar ay nag-depreciate, pag sinabing depreciate, yung palitan tumataas from 55, naging 56, naging 58, naging 60. Yan ay, ibig sabihin yan, the peso is depreciating. At pag nag-depreciate ang peso, ibig sabihin yan, pangit ang ating economy. Yan. Okay, so, our challenge, and Boricon, slow economic recovery. Trabaho rin ng BSP yung pagtulong or monitoring economic recovery. Pag mabagal ang economic recovery, that is a challenge for the BSP, di ba? Yan, pagkat ng tariff, di ba? Underemployment, unemployment, structural issues, yun mga challenge na corruption, mga challenge sa BSP. Yung rin, sa mga digital banking, di ba? They embrace the digital banking in year 2020. Pero meron din mga time na pangit ang digital banking kasi na-scam yung pera mo, di ba? Kaya nag-withdraw, hahack. So, challenge din yung kasi 2020 pa lang nag-digital banking. So 5 years pa lang. So yung birth pain ba nasa una, di ba? Ay hindi pa nila masyadong alam paano solution. Yung mga hackers, example. So moving on, the central bank is the lender of last resort. So ito hindi sinabing sa central bank tayo mangungutang. Ito yung mga last resort, huling baraha, huling remedyo ng mga bangko. Sa central bank sila pupunta. So why? Because they provide liquidity to stabilize the financial system. Diba we know that pag sinabing liquidity, ibig sabihin niya marami kang pera pwedeng gamitin. Mas maraming pera ng isang bangko, mas liquid yan. Ibig sabihin mas liquid. Kasi pag marami kang property pero wala kang pera, hindi ka liquid. Yung central bank pera, pinag-usapan. So, they provide liquidity sa isang bangko or sa the whole economy. Sila nagbibigay ng pera sila nag-issue ng currency, di ba? Ng pera. I-print ng pera. And ito yung digital bank initiative na being done in 2020 by the central bank. The key digital banking and payment initiatives. One reason why they are digitalizing is financial inclusion. Lahat ay isasama, and access. Lahat ay pwedeng maka-access sa monetary financial service and financial products ng mga bangko. Kaya they are creating these innovative digital solutions. And some of the key digital banking initiatives being done or were done by the BSP. Firstly, the National Payment Systems Act. Then there is done in PSA. Some function provides the regulatory framework for all payment systems in the Philippines, digital payment system. Example, if you will be paying your bills, paying your contributions to government offices like the GSIS, SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, or sa bank or money transfer. Safe, efficient, and reliable. Efficient pwede. Kaya lang safe and reliable, hindi pa masyado. No? Kasi maybe some of you here have experience na nawala ng pera kahit konti nung nag-transfer o nag-deposit ng pera. And this one, PesoNet and InstaPay, pag gagamit ka ng land bank account mo. Mamimili ka dito kung PesoNet or InstaPay ang yung gagamitin na electronic fund transfer system. Some PesoNet and hindi to PesoNet iba yung PesoNet Yung PesoNet yung sa computer na mahuhulog ng piso para makagamit ka ng computer. Ito yung Peso. PE. Spelling PESO. So this one is a system na ginagamit ng mga bangko in transferring funds. Pag meron kang BPI or land bank and you're going to transfer funds, pwede mong gamitin PesoNet. Nasa platform na yun ng mga bangko, digital banking platform. Kung saan gagamitin mo dyan, PesoNet or InstaPay. Okay? So, convenient kasi you can use this PesoNet or InstaPay kahit magkaibang bangko, pwede mo saan gamitin. And the QRPH is the National QR Code Standard promoting interoperable payment solutions that allows customers and merchants to use a single QR code standard across different payment service providers. So, GCash, Paymaya, one QR code creates na ginagamit. The purpose of this one, aimed for yung mga MSMEs, mga micro, small, medium enterprises para madali yung pagbayad sa kanila. Kasi, minsan kasi, di ba, if you want to avail of the service or the one-to-buy product ng isang business, pag wala nakitang online payment option or GCash option doon, parang ayaw mong bumili, di ba? Karanasan ko yun dati, no? I'm paying something, tapos nakita ko walang GCash. Ang pwede lang deposit, pupunta ka pa sa bangko, hindi ko tinuloy transaction. So, para marami raw ng mga revenue or benta or customer isang business, dapat merong digital payment option na pwede lang gamitin doon. Mas marami silang And the last initiative of the BSP when it comes to digital banking and payment, ito yung digital banking framework. The BSP created a special license category for digital banks. May mga digital banks pero konti pa lang. Nabibilang pa natin mga digital banks. Ngayon sa inyong GCash. Andun yung mga digital banks, no? Pansin mo wala silang physical building, no? Pero digital bank kasi sila. Wala silang physical branch. CMB, yung binamagin ko kanina, CMB. Merong estudyante sa doctoral na ito yung kanyang company, digital banking. Wala silang physical branch, but they offer financial services like deposits and withdrawal. Yan. Doon sa mga taong yung mga taong walang time pumunta sa bangko kasi walang bangko sa kanila. Example sa province, di ba? Malayo sila. They can go banking now kasi meron ng mga digital banking framework na pwedeng gamitin ng mga nasa province o walang masyadong time pumunta sa mga bangko. Yung mga digital banks na ngayon. Talagang digital banks kasi may mga bangkong merong online tapos merong physical store or physical branch na. Itong bangko mga digital banks kasi na to, they are purely digital or online. Wala silang physical store. Hinaan ko yung sample ko ng ating ginagamit. Kalimutan yung pangalan. Yung mga aking pinaglalagaan ng pera. Teka, ito. Anyway. Sige, kita nyo naman sa yung mga GCash account din. Okay guys, I know this one is the last slide for you today. Hoping that you got something. I'm going to give an online quiz for you. And hanggang dito lang, and until next time, this has been Dr. Lourdes signing off and requesting subscribe naman sa aking munting channel. And thank you in advance, people. Until next time.